to Clarity on Fire, a podcast for people who know what they don't want out of their life and career, but aren't sure what they'd rather be doing.
In a world where it's easy to exist, but hard to feel alive, we, Kristen
and Rachel,
two certified life and career coaches, are here to help you cut through the information overload, get unstuck, and focus not just on how you can have a career you're passionate about, but how to create a whole life that feels fulfilling.
So join us here, where we serve up inspiration and down-to-earth wisdom in a way that only two best friends can.
We want you to experience the relief of knowing that, yes, you're allowed to want more out of your life and career.
And no, you don't have to wander through the dark anymore. Our job is to light the fire that shows you the way. Let's go.
Hello.
Hello.
From us and
the universe.
And the universe. The universe is always speaking to you, but today it speaks to you through Rachel.
More directly.
We'll find out in a second what it says. I'm shuffling. Hold on. You always need to have my sound effect.
Live sound
Just so you know, I am currently shuffling these cards. And well, you know, I wanted to use just a tarot deck today. And I felt very strongly that we had to use the Enchanted Map deck. So I'm using it because it's what I feel like I'm supposed to do.
Well, we'll see what happens.
We're always like,
we're always a little cautious.
Oh God, what's going to be
after our long spell?
Don't
of the same card, but we're not going to invoke it today.
You just did. So
no, I didn't invoke it. I didn't say its name. It's like Beetlejuice.
It's like the devil or something.
No, it's the Beetlejuice.
Oh, okay. That's the second reference to Beetlejuice I've heard in like 2 or 3 days.
That's odd.
Yeah. I wonder why.
I don't think I've mentioned Beetlejuice in many years.
I hadn't heard. Okay. Yeah. Oh my God. No, it's not. It's the third reference.
Do you need to watch it?
I think no. Okay. When you hear something 3 times, much like when you say, I'm not going to say it because I don't want to invoke it. But like, no, I just realized that's the third time in a few days I've heard it. Now, that always begs the question. Are the second and third times because I saw it the first time? And so then I got on a Beetlejuice wavelength, and then I'm just thinking about it. And so therefore it's showing up. Or am I supposed to watch for some odd reason that I cannot fathom? Am I supposed to watch Beetlejuice? Or I don't know.
I think you can ask a follow-up question. Like, hey, what's with Beetlejuice?
What's with the Beetlejuice?
Am I supposed to watch it? And then see if you get an answer to that one.
Yeah, maybe.
Because sometimes it's not as linear as watch the movie. Sometimes it's like, there's like a little nugget.
Yeah, it's just, right. It's just, there's like a teeny little scene and it's just one little thing that you need to be thinking about, or I don't know. Anyway. Well, I'm on a Beetlejuice vibration.
That's strange.
I don't know why. Okay.
I've been seeing lions the last 2 days. I don't know what that's about. Just pictures of lions, references to lions.
Well, that's about strength and also laziness.
I like strength and laziness. That's a good combo to me.
Yeah. I mean, like they like really reserve their energy until it's time to pounce.
The most recent one I saw was a lion with king it was like on a truck. Because lions are the king of the jungle.
Yeah, we're all familiar with the Lion King, Kristen.
Right. So I'm like, I don't know what that's about, but I like lions. So we'll find out. We both have clarifying questions for the universe.
Could be about a Leo, such as myself.
Could be.
It could be just the energy that you're supposed to embody.
Sure.
Which is
lazy and strong. I like it.
Yeah. More like reserving your energy until the opportune moment.
That's me all over.
Well, you try, but you don't always do a good job.
That's true. That's what I want to embody more.
I think that might be what it is. It's like you can be like regal and queen-like, but you can also be lazy as hell and still get things done.
Yeah. And still be very powerful.
Exactly.
Lions are very powerful.
You don't have to tell me twice. Mm-hmm. I know. I wouldn't want to be in a cage with one. Okay. Or on a grassland. I mean, really anywhere in proximity to one or their jaws, you know?
Well, I feel like we're getting weird universe messages. I feel like we also have some good universe stories that we could share before we draw our cards while you keep shuffling.
I like talking about stories from the universe, synchronicity, signs, If you ever have any you want to share that you think are particularly fun or good, always comment or email us or something.
Fill out a contact form. We love
fill out a contact form just to tell us stories about the universe.
I would love that.
I would be so happy to hear them.
That would be a joy.
Maybe we'll read them on the next Message from the Universe episode or something. That's a good challenge. Do that. Contact at clarityonfire.com if you have something you want to share.
You have good ones.
Oh, I know you do. Yeah, so I have a client who has been reading Outrageous Openness lately for the first time. Got to go back to November 2018 and listen to that episode. One of the best books about one of my favorite little spiritual books of all time. It, if you want to develop a relationship with something other than yourself, but you want it to be like chill, you don't want it to be, it's not religious. It's not like heavy-handed. It's fun. It's light. And it actually works. Outrageous Openness. It's the only way.
And there's a lot of stories that I find really inspiring. It's not so much a how-to book,
but you can implement a lot of what you learn.
Exactly. It's more, here's some great stories. Take them and do your own version of them.
What works for you.
And you get a lot of proof that it works.
Right. So she's just been reading that and kind of trying to swim around in the energy of that. And she went to like a street fair recently and was carrying around this bag that she's had for a really long time that her mom gave her. And she was stopped on the street by a woman who said, "Where did you get your bag?" She was like, "Oh, I don't know. My mom gave this to me it must have been a decade ago." And the woman said, "Let me clarify. I made that bag."
What?
Yes. And she was like, "What?" And she's like, "Yeah, that's one of my creations." And this woman, I don't think she was like selling anything at the street fair. It was just completely random. And
that's wild.
And so she was like, "Where do you think your mom bought it?" And she told her where her mom lived. And she goes, "Oh, yep, there's a store there that used to sell or sells my stuff." And some of you might be like, "Well, that's really wild, but like, what was the point?" And I'm like, the point is that sometimes the universe just likes to show off and just kind of
remind you that you're in the right place at the right time.
Right. Because you could have been 30 seconds late and never ran into that woman and she never would have seen her bag or her work out in the world. Right. 10 years later, she made that bag and then it showed up. Right. And like, that's just fun.
That's uncanny. Yeah.
It's so cool.
That's really fun.
So like, sometimes the universe just likes to wink at you.
Believe in divine timing.
Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm. There's a fun one I heard recently.
That is fun. I had a client recently just update me on, she had quit her job maybe a month or so ago and didn't have one lined up, which I don't recommend for everybody, but she was in a perfectly fine position to do that. And quite quickly got another job offer. I was trying to figure out, is that really what I want to do? There's this other, it was, I think more of a fellowship is what she called it, that she was also interested in, but hadn't heard back from them yet. So she asked the job who had offered her a position, could I have an extra week just to think about it and maybe to talk to some people at your company. So she had some conversations with different members of the team she'd be working on and kept getting really good vibes. And it's like, I'm still really unsure about this fellowship. I wanted to hear back from them. And at some point she just decides, you know what? I'm gonna take this job. Like they offered me more than I even would have expected. Everybody there really seems to live my values and I'm going to just take a chance and go for the job. Not 2 minutes after she signs the paperwork, she hears back from the fellowship and they're like, "Oh, we'd like to have a follow-up interview now." And she's like, "Well, clearly I wasn't meant to do that because it didn't even come in. It didn't even come in to cloud up her concept of what she should be doing."
Wow.
She was able to get really clear, make the decision. And then 2 minutes later, they pop in and they're like, "That's fine. Maybe we can find another way to work together in some other fashion." So that might even still be open. But the timing of that was just too funny to me. She gave them an extra week and she needed to give them an extra week in 2 minutes. And it wasn't meant to be.
Some people would be second guessing the shit out of that. But I like that she's like, "Nope, clearly."
I think it's validating.
I do too.
I think it's like you weren't meant to be distracted.
Yeah.
This was the right thing. And we wanted to make sure you chose it before the other one came in so you wouldn't get off track. Thank you, universe.
Okay. I am going to pull cards now.
Okay. You're
All right.
going to do our normal 3 spread?
Yeah, I think so. I think I'm going to do past, present, future. And or, well, like a 3-card spread, right? Past, present, future. Or you can just pick a card left, center, right. And that just one card
Pick
can
a
be your
single
reading. It's fine. You can also do here's the problem. Here's like the source of the problem or like the nature of my problem. And here's the solution or the action that I need to take around the problem.
And then the outcome.
That's what kind of I mean. That's 4 things, Kristen.
No, there's the problem. There's the solution or action.
There's the source of the problem.
And then what happens? Right? Isn't that what we normally do?
Well, you and I just said 4 things.
In my mind, it's 3, but
in my mind, that was 4. Problem, source of problem.
To me, that's the same as the problem. It's like the whole problem.
Yeah, but sometimes you don't actually know what the root of the problem really is.
Okay, well, you can take this however, I guess, however.
No, I think we need to actually clarify that because we are not pulling 4 cards.
We're not pulling 4 cards. Yeah, I think we describe the problem. Then we describe what do you do? What should we do? What's the course of action? And then what can we expect on the other side? Okay. That to me makes sense, right?
Sure. Our problem is that we're having a breakdown in communication.
We're having a problem describing a problem.
Okay. So you can pause before I pull this first card and you can either think, all right, here's what I want feedback about specifically. Or you can just say, give me a reading and take it as you will. Mm-hmm. So, okay, I'm going to do the card on the left first. Sacred Pool, number 47.
47.
Okay, so this is like very green, enchanted waters. There's like there's a young woman floating on her back in the pool. There's almost like a fairy light kind of coming. I don't know if it's coming up out of her. It looks like a very enchanted realm, which is, natural for the Enchanted Map deck.
Sure.
Okay.
It's very enchanted.
Okay. I've never seen this card before. So cool.
New one. Okay. We always have a little quote at the beginning, so we'll start with that. The world is a reflection of your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. Embody the love you wish to see in the world. It's a nice start. Little description here. When you look into the mirror, do you like what you see? The Sacred Pool card asks that you focus on self-love and self-esteem. We are all works in progress. So a detached self-examination made with rigorous honesty is called for now. Reflect by the sacred pool and be at peace with yourself. Can you see how far you've come and how magical your life is? Do you notice the spark of the divine shining through your eyes? When you're conscious that you're the embodiment of spirit, it becomes easier to respect yourself and act in good conscience. Then you'll reap the greatest rewards. Your unique service to the world is not only needed, but celebrated. See the love within you and know that if you cast it upon the waters, it will return to you tenfold. Be at peace, for you are beautiful and loved. Act with surety and confidence, and success shall be yours, whatever your inquiry.
Okay.
Well, if that's the problem, we're in a good spot.
No, it might mean that
you are struggling with self-love and self-esteem.
Mm-hmm. And that when you look in the mirror, you don't like what you see. Mm-hmm. Or it could potentially be something that you've worked to overcome and you're being congratulated for having gone on that journey.
If this is in the past.
If this is in the past. So, okay, that's interesting.
Yep. Interesting start.
Okay. I'm going to pull the middle card now. Center card. Present card. What did you say this was?
The solution or the action to take.
Okay.
We have the problem. What do you do about the problem?
Okay. All right. Ooh, 53, a big ass elephant, and it's listening.
Okay.
And it's just an elephant. It's mostly the head of an elephant. You can't see the body, but it looks like it's listening to music because there's music notes. Oh, and there's a bird sitting on its head.
A little tiny bird.
53. Okay, listening. Okay.
An open heart will hear the message. Okay. When this card appears, you're being reminded that there's a time to speak and a time to be silent. Now is an occasion for listening. Pay attention not only to what is being spoken, but also to what is not being said at the moment, for the deeper message is not always obvious. Listen with your heart, not just your ears, and you'll find clarity. Receiving the listening card is a fortunate sign and ensures a greater understanding of your circumstances. That's a very clear direction of what to do. Listen. Stop talking so much and
What was
listen.
that last part again?
Receiving the listening card is a fortunate sign and ensures a greater understanding of your circumstances.
Oh, so it's fortunate. This is a good sign.
Mm-hmm. So if this is the present, then we're in a good spot, but
Right.
we might be in a little bit of a transition spot waiting for guidance.
Yeah. Maybe you just need to quiet down and just get quiet, like allow the message to come through. You can't hear when you're talking or when you're creating a lot of noise.
And I particularly honed in on don't just pay attention to what is being spoken,
Yeah.
but what's not being said.
Just as important.
So
If
listen
not, sometimes more.
Between the lines
Yeah.
as well. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Just like your client.
Yeah.
What didn't
Exactly.
happen was the message.
That spoke volumes.
That spoke volumes.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And she could have, she listened to herself and said, I want another week. She could have asked for a week and a half, couple of weeks. She asked for a week and it was exactly the amount of time, almost to the minute.
Yeah. Yeah.
So listen to your own guidance, listen to the messages around you, the people around you, and not just surface level. Listen.
And listen for what's not
Deeply.
being said.
Mm-hmm.
That is so true that in so many circumstances, in like a job search or a dating or something like that, so much of what you don't hear is what matters.
Mm-hmm. Or what you don't feel comfortable talking about, or what you're not hearing in the other person, or you ask a question, you get an unclear answer. I mean, all of that is as important as the words you're hearing,
Mhm.
for sure.
Okay, you ready for the right card or the card on the right, not the correct card? The card placed on the right, or the future or the outcome?
Yes.
Okay. Ooh, we've gotten this one before, but it's a good one. Magic Prayer 32.
Oh, I remember the image.
It's a woman with like a butterfly almost like superimposed over her face, like a mask, and she's got her head thrown back. Actually, I think she might be like an elf or a fae or something because her ears are like pointed. And she's got all sorts of like pinky blue magic energy swirling around her. All of these cards have a lot of green and magic looking to them. It's very spring summer vibe.
And that's not all. We've seen enough cards to know.
No, like the color palette on these cards is all the same, which I find very interesting. Green is like a heart chakra for those of you who are into that.
Mm-hmm.
Usually symbolizes the heart. So I don't know. Just take that for what you will if you want to.
And if you want to see them, just click the link in the show notes and you can actually go through the images of them.
Okay, so go ahead and read that one.
Okay. This is funny. Speak your prayers, listen for the answers, act in faith.
Okay.
Yeah, well, we're hearkening back to the listening message. Okay. When you see the magic prayer card, it's a reminder that your prayers will be answered. Spirit is always waiting to help you and to heal you when you're in need. That said, the best prayer is, thy will be done through me, thy will and not mine be done. Mm-hmm. That's hard. Conscious contact with your higher power is achieved through the ritual of prayer and meditation. Speak and listen to the divine force within the field of creation. Surrender your wishes and desires to Spirit. You may not get what you want, but you will surely get what you need. Your destiny awaits you. As long as you keep in conscious contact with your higher power, be assured that you are on the right path. Well, that's a good sign if this is the outcome or if this is the future, that we're going to get at least what we need, which is probably even better than what we want.
Do you hate being told that you're going to get what you need and not what you want? Because I do.
Yes. But I don't see them as mutually exclusive. Like,
Yeah,
I
you're right.
see getting what you need is sometimes better than what you want.
Usually I would say that's true. It's just, it's often means not on the timeline that you want, right?
Or there might be steps in between. So sometimes you need to take intermediate steps.
And you don't want to have to take those steps. For sure. For sure. That happens.
But the end of this is you're on the right path. You're going to get what you need. You're going to get what you want. I mean, you're going to be healed.
Your prayers are going to be answered. Your wishes are going to come true. So it's, no one's negging you here. Universe is not negging you. The universe is just saying, yeah, you're going to get you're going to get exactly what you need, but you're going to have to surrender control of that. And you're going to have to be open to what that is and what that looks like, which might surprise you based on maybe what you think you want.
Mm-hmm. I felt like this was doubling down on listening too. It was kind of
it really
like,
was.
Keep, be listening now in the present, or start listening as a answer to the problem. But don't stop. Like it kept going into the future. Keep listening. Maybe there was like listening and speaking mentioned a couple of times in here, but you don't get to stop listening once you have an answer. That's ongoing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that seems to be a heavy message today.
You don't just like arrive at your destination and now you're like, great, I'm done. No more work required. No more up leveling required. No, you're going to have new challenges.
Thanks, Spirit. I got it from here. Like, no. Let's keep listening. There might be follow-up steps.
Even getting what you want or what you need is going to probably challenge you to a new level or a new degree. And now you're going to have to listen some more to figure out how to deal with that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Through prayer and meditation.
Yeah.
Specifically, that's what it's calling out.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. So
this was all in all a very optimistic reading. We have had some more
like
negative
Zen energy to it.
It
did. Compared to some others. Yeah. It's calm. It's soothing.
Not very intense.
It's not in your face. And sometimes it has been in your face.
Oh, yeah.
This is not at all in the face.
Kind of a call out, kind of uncomfortable. This one was very pleasant all the way through.
It's gentle.
Like the problem didn't seem that big. The answer didn't seem that big. I mean,
that
like
hard.
Just quiet. Just like shut your mouth and listen. Calm down.
You're going to get what you want. Just like keep doing what you're doing. You're going to get what you need, not what you want. Sorry. Both and. You might just not know what you
ultimately want.
Yeah. I don't think when the universe says, the universe doesn't say anything. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think when I hear you're going to get what you need, not what you want, that doesn't mean that the universe wants you to suffer. Because sometimes I think people hear that and they go, oh, well, I'm just like supposed to like go without for the rest of my life, or I'm supposed to just like I'm here to like suffer and like learn lessons rather than be fulfilled. Or no, it's just that sometimes what we want pales in comparison to what's possible. And maybe what we need is a much bigger, greater, grander version of whatever it is than maybe we're not even capable of fathoming. And so sometimes what we need in order to get there looks confusing or looks, I don't know, just more difficult, but we're getting what we need in order to prepare us for like the ultimate version of what it is we actually want, you know?
Yeah. The analogy coming to mind right now is sometimes I think the universe thinks of us as the impatient toddlers, and it's like the loving parent.
Yeah.
And it's like, I want to play now. And the parent's like, no, you got to take a nap now. Because you don't even know this, but you've got a big friend's birthday party this afternoon and you need to take a nap so you can play really hard. I want to play now. No, what you need is a nap. Trust me, I got you.
No!
Right?
Yeah.
And I think sometimes we play into the impetuous 2-year-old who's impatient and wants what we want. But the universe is like, I know what you need. And trust me, it's going to ultimately be what you want. as well.
Mm-hmm.
But what you think you want might be short-sighted from what I can see, because I can see a lot bigger picture, a lot further out than our limited human minds can see.
Mm-hmm.
So think of it that way. Think of the universe as being like the very loving parent who knows what's happening, and you're just the toddler who's like, I want what I want. It's like, no, trust me. I got your back.
Well, that was the second time in a row we've gotten the magic prayer card. We got it last time too.
The other two were new, though. So that was fun.
Yeah, that was fun. And also, I'm not as upset about magic prayer being a repeat card.
Not at all. No, not.
It feels like a better card to have on repeat.
That's a good vibe to have on repeat. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, well, I will take a picture of these and post them on the site with the descriptions of each card if you want to actually read what Kristen read to you earlier. You can go to the link in the show notes, or you can, if you're listening to this, around the time that this episode came out, you can just go to clarityonfire.com, go to the podcast tab and find this episode.
And again, if you have a universe story you want to share,
yeah,
or a cool synchronicity that happened, we love to hear them. And maybe we'll read it on the podcast. I don't know. Yeah.
So you can email contact@clarityonfire.com. You could also, if you're on Instagram and you're following us at Clarity on Fire, you could DM me. Well, me. I say me because it's me. But it's not Kristen. And you could share a story that way too if you wanted to. And then maybe we'll read them, we'll collect them, and then read some of them in a future message from the universe episode.
I would love that.
Okay. All right. Well, we will see you next. I guess next week for Dear Rachel, because this is the end of June. So
that happened fast. Okay.
Okay. We'll see you
then.
Bye.